Few people know that the last Shah of Iran, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, had a twin sister, Princess Ashraf Pahlavi, one of the most powerful and controversial women in modern Iranian history. Known for her striking beauty, sharp political acumen, and a lifestyle of luxury, Ashraf's life was a whirlwind of influence, scandal, and exile. She was a woman who defied the strict confines of her time, fought for women's rights, yet was repeatedly cast out from her homeland. Why was she exiled not once, but 3 times? What fueled the bitter rivalry between her and the Shah's last wife, Empress Farah? And how did she endure the heartbreak of losing her son in exile? This is the story of a princess whose legacy remains fiercely debated to this day. Born in 1919, just hours after her twin brother Mohammad Reza, Ashraf Pahlavi was the daughter of Reza Khan, the founder of the Pahlavi dynasty. Their father was a strict and ambitious man who dreamed of a strong heir to the throne. Privately, he once lamented that the crown would not go to Ashraf, despite believing she had more willpower than her brother. This was less a compliment and more a burden. Ashraf grew up feeling constrained by the gender roles of her time, aware that no matter her talents or ambitions, the throne was reserved for her brother. From a young age, Ashraf struggled with self-doubt, worried about her appearance and stature. She dreamed of studying abroad, but her father forbade it. At 18, she was married off to Ali Gavam, a political alliance rather than a love match. Though she protested and cried, she accepted her fate, a pattern that would repeat in her life. When Mohammad Reza became Shah in 1941, Ashraf's ambitions found new life. With the Shah's first wife, Fawzia, returning to Egypt amid a failing marriage, Ashraf stepped into the role of First Lady. She became a visible and influential figure, accompanying her brother to official events, welcoming foreign dignitaries, and leading women's organizations. One of her most remarkable moments came during a diplomatic mission to Moscow, where she personally met Soviet leader Joseph Stalin. Her strong presence impressed Stalin so much that he gifted her a mink coat, a symbol of respect and a rare honor for a woman in diplomacy at the time. This mission successfully negotiated the withdrawal of Soviet troops from Iran, a significant achievement that sparked heated debate back home. Many Iranians were uncomfortable with a woman leading such talks, challenging traditional gender roles. Ashraf, along with her mother and sister, publicly removed their hijabs, symbolizing a new era for Iranian women. She championed girls' education, pushed for women's rights to attend university, hold important jobs, and have a voice in society. She even spoke at the United Nations on women's rights, becoming an international advocate. Despite her achievements, Ashraf's life was riddled with controversy. Rumors swirled about her love affairs, gambling habits, and extravagant lifestyle. She was known to frequent casinos and spend lavishly, which fueled public resentment. Her independence and refusal to conform to traditional expectations shocked many. Her personal relationships were equally complex. Ashraf married 3 times. First to Ali Gavam, a political marriage that ended quickly, then to Ahmad Shafiq, an Egyptian military officer with whom she had 2 children and shared genuine love, and finally to Mehdi Boucheri, a diplomat, in a marriage that was more formal than affectionate. Throughout, she maintained a network of unofficial relationships, further fueling gossip and scandal. Her relationship with the Shah's wives was also fraught. She got along with Soraya, the Shah's second wife, who stayed out of politics. But with Farah, the third and final empress, there was a quiet but intense rivalry. Both women were ambitious and unwilling to share the spotlight, leading to a lifelong struggle for influence. Ashraf's political influence peaked in the 1950s. She wielded power over the army, security services, and business circles, making even the Shah's closest advisors wary. Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh saw her as a threat and insisted she leave Iran, officially for a vacation, but in reality, it was a forced exile. Ashraf went to Europe with her children, uncertain when she could return. During this exile, the political situation in Iran escalated. Mossadegh nationalized the oil industry, angering Britain and the United States. The CIA and British intelligence sought to restore the Shah's power and turned to Ashraf for help. She was given money and gifts to persuade her brother to stage a coup. In 1953, Mossadegh was overthrown, the Shah returned, and Ashraf came back to Iran. Her return marked a period of opulence. Ashraf's lifestyle epitomized luxury. She owned multiple palaces, villas abroad, and a vast collection of jewels. She hosted lavish parties attended by Iran's elite and international figures. But this extravagance made her a symbol of corruption and excess, fueling public dissatisfaction. By the 1970s, the Shah himself saw Ashraf as a liability to his reputation and power. To avoid scandal, he quietly asked her to leave the country again, her second exile. This time, the pain was deeper, as it came from her own family. In 1977, Ashraf survived an assassination attempt in Cannes. Gunfire struck her limousine, killing her lady-in-waiting and wounding her driver and bodyguard. The attackers were never identified. 2 years later, the Islamic Revolution swept Iran, overthrowing the Shah and establishing a republic. The entire Pahlavi family was forced into permanent exile, Ashraf's third and final exile. She could never return to her homeland. Exile brought more heartbreak. In 1980, her son Shahryar, who was organizing resistance against a new regime, was assassinated outside her home in Paris. The loss devastated Ashraf, and no one was ever held accountable. After this tragedy, she withdrew from public life, living between New York and Monte Carlo. She wrote memoirs defending her actions, portraying herself as a reformer and patriot. However, many critics dismissed her claims, viewing her as a symbol of the Pahlavi regime's corruption and abuses. In her later years, Ashraf was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. She passed away in 2016 at the age of 96, having outlived her brother and all 3 of her children. Ashraf Pahlavi's life was a paradox. She was a pioneer for women's rights in Iran, breaking barriers in education, politics, and diplomacy. Yet, she was also a figure of scandal, accused of corruption, extravagance, and political manipulation. Her repeated exiles reflected the turbulent political landscape of Iran and the complex dynamics within the royal family. To some, she remains a symbol of strength and progress. To others, a reminder of a lost era marked by inequality and excess. Her story is a window into the struggles of a woman who dared to wield power in a male-dominated world, and the price she paid for it.